So this is just a quick recap of what you would have learned in the lesson in class. So the whole idea is I want you to be able to find the measure of angles given certain pairings. Like we talk about the word supplementary and what that means, or what linear pairs are, and vertical angles. You would have started off by naming this angle as many different ways as you can. There's at least 10 of them. One example might be angle 1. You could have also just called it angle C by the vertex, and then of course we would name it with 3 points, having that vertex be in the middle. So the C would have to be in the middle. One example would be angle ACE. So you would go through, name as many as possible. There's at least 10 of them, but know how to do that. Then we got into this idea of adjacent angles. Adjacent angles are pretty much angles that are right next to each other that share either a common ray or sometimes a segment as well. So in this case, this angle, I'll name 1 and 2. Those are adjacent angles because they share this ray XW. Supplementary angles are 2 angles that add up to be 180 degrees. So anytime we see the word supplementary, we're thinking in our head, those 2 angles must add up together to be 180 degrees. So on this example, they told us angle 1 is supplementary to angle 2. So we have to take this whole angle, 3x plus 5, plus this whole angle and set it equal to 180. And then you would solve through algebra. Then we think about the word bisected. Bisected means it cut in half. 2 equal parts. Then we're thinking the word supplementary, and we know adds up to 180 degrees. So if you have an angle that got bisected, cut in half, and they add up to be 180 degrees, that ends up meaning that they have to be 90 degrees each. So you got to be able to break down those words and see what they're saying. So how much is ABD? 90. Because that's this one right there. Then we're looking at linear pairs. So that's when 2 angles form a straight line. Now we can't assume a lot of things with geometric figures, but one thing you can is if it looks like a straight line, it is. So we know those 2 together add up to be 180 degrees. So then therefore, they must be supplementary. If they're a linear pair, if they form a straight line together, they have to add up to be 180 degrees. So those 2 angles, this one plus that one, have to add up to equal 180. Using that same idea here, if this is a straight line and this one's 40, well, knowing that they have to add up to be 180, that must be true. Well, what if we go this way? Since this one's 140, how much is this? It has to be 40. Do the same thing for the bottom. What does that end up being? 140. So looking at, wait a minute, this angle's the same as that, and then this angle is the same as that. There might be something to it. what those are called are vertical angles. So in this case, angle MXT right here is a vertical angle with angle AXH. Then we can look and say angle MXA, and then this angle TXH, are vertical angles, and all vertical angles are congruent. So the two red angles have to be the same, and the two blue angles have to be the same. So when you measure something like this, VZX is this one right here, and it's 16x minus 20. And measure of angle Z or YZW is this one, and it's 13x plus 7. Those are vertical angles, so you must set them equal to each other to solve. Hopefully you're a 3 here. If not, come back, do some office hours, practice, work with some teams.